Hello, and welcome to part 3 of my cancer story. And today is the amputation. Well, the title of it is the amputation. The amputation already happened. Anyway, if you missed any portions of any of these videos, they will be in a playlist. My daughter advised me to compile a playlist, which I did. I learned how to do. I'm so proud of myself. And just you can check them out there. But I do want to put right now, before I get started, a picture of the finger as it was when I first found out that I had malignant melanoma. So take a peek at it, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I want to pick up where I ended up with the surgical oncologist, and I was in his office, and he gave me all the information about what he was going to do in the surgery. And part of what he was going to do is remove the lymph nodes. I think that was his main job, is to remove the lymph nodes. So his scheduler, her name was Tara. Awesome. First of all, hats off, high five to his whole team. When you walk in the door, they are so compassionate and so wonderful. Even though I was scared out of my head and didn't know what was going on, really, I just was doing whatever they told me to do, and wherever they told me to go, that's where I was going. It was like almost like a zombie. But they were awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better um, experience, so to speak. If I had to have this happen, it was a good experience at the beginning. That's all I'll have to say. Um, when you go for these meetings or appointments, it's important to take someone with you. My daughter was with me, and I asked her to come with me and take notes, and she did. And that was awesome because when I forgot things, she would remember them, and she would say, "Oh no, mom, they said XYZ." So his scheduler told me excuse me, let me back up just a little bit. The surgical oncologist who was going to remove the lymph nodes told me, well, because your mole is so small, you can wait until after the holidays and have this removed. Remember, now we're right in the middle, like the 16th, the 17th of December, and people are packing up, going on vacation. Families are coming in, they're getting ready for Christmas, or the holidays, Hanukkah. They're getting ready, they're having a great time. And I told him, I can't wait until after. I don't want to wait. So his scheduler, she had her own office. We sat down in there, and first of all, she congratulated me for locating the mole and for being diagnosed early, because she told me stories of people who let it go on so long that they weren't able to survive. So that was beautiful that she took the time to talk to me about that. And because part of my fear was like, if I wait until after Christmas, I may not have this surgery at all. Just the thought is scary. So she said, well, you're going to need 3 doctors, and I'm not sure what their schedules look like. She said, but I'm good at this. Trust me, you'll have your surgery before Christmas. And she got it done. She called me and sent me a letter with all the information, and my surgery was December the 23rd, year 2014. So now we're on the day of the surgery. The day before, of course, after midnight, I couldn't eat or drink anything. My first stop was the imaging center at Cedars-Sinai, which is across the street from the hospital where I was going to have the surgery. So I went to the imaging center, and I really didn't know what was going to happen there. I don't think I remembered that this was going to happen. My mom was there. One of my closest friends was there, and I think my daughter was coming later because she was in school. I go into the first doctor's appointment before the surgery. And what they were going to do was inject nuclear medicine into my finger so that they could follow the path of the lymphatic system to know which lymph nodes were responsible for that left index finger. I thought that was so amazing and so interesting. So that when the surgical oncologist went into the surgery, he'd have like what he described as a little pin, and he would kind of rub the pin up and down my arm until he heard a ping. And when he heard the ping, he would know that that nuclear medicine that went in to follow the path of the lymphatic system for that lymph node, he would know which lymph nodes to remove. And that was so awesome because a lot of times people have a lot of lymph nodes removed. And this now pinpoints those lymph nodes that deal with whatever part of the body that needs to be removed or examined. In this case, he found, I think, one or two in my arm and then one here. So I'm gonna, let me see if I can show you. Yeah, that scar is where he took one lymph node out. And then I have another scar on my arm. Looks the same. So he ended up taking out 3 lymph nodes. After that, because, you know, of course that was painful, them shooting into your finger. And especially after the finger had been biopsied and it was already open and not completely healed at that point. So after that, I had to walk across the street, and that's where everything took place. The surgery took place. I was scared. That's all I can keep saying is I was scared, kind of numb. Even though I was cracking jokes and I had a smile on my face, I was so scared and so frightened. Didn't know what tomorrow would look like. What would it be like without my finger? How much of the finger would they have to remove? My hand surgeon had me sign a paper that said I was having my finger amputated. And did I already say this? I can't remember, but he said that he would remove all of my finger only if he saw evidence of cancer all the way down. If he didn't, he would only remove the portion of the finger that he needed to. So they have instructions to remove with wide margins, making sure that they don't miss anything as much as possible. Get all of the cancer removed. All of the irregular cells need to be gone. So I was scared. I didn't know if he was going to take all my finger, part of my finger, half of my finger. Not sure. Anyway, so we get up there. They prep you for surgery. You know, you get those funny little gowns where your behind's hanging out and everything else. All your business is out in the street. Before they give you the woozy medicine, which makes you not care whether or not they're going to put you under or what they're going to cut off. You don't really care at that point. Before they do all that, your surgeons usually come and visit you. I just can't remember whether my surgical oncologist came to visit me, but I'm pretty sure he did. If he did, it was quick because he's just a ball of energy. But I know my hand surgeon came to talk to me, and they all ask you if you have any questions and all that stuff. And they let your family say goodbye, and you know, and I like the system that Cedars has. They have like they give you a number and a number and then a code, like yellow, green. So when you're in surgery, your family can look at, it's kind of like a television screen with your code next to it. Doesn't have your name, I don't think. I think it just has like your number next to it. And it'll say if it's yellow, they're prepping for surgery. If it's green, they're out of surgery or whatever, and they are in the recovery room. So I knew they would know what was going on with me. So I'm sorry, it's so emotional. It's kind of hard to talk about, but I want to. I don't want anyone else to go through this and not have at least something to, um, some point of reference. There's not a lot online about subungual melanoma, and definitely not from African Americans or people of color. Um, it's all a surprise to me. It was all a surprise, all unexpected. But I'm still grateful and thankful, and I'm here talking to you. So, anyway, surgery happened. They put you in recovery. I wake up. I don't know who came through because you're still kind of groggy. I'm sure my mom, my sister, different people were coming through. And when my daughter came through, that's when I broke down, started crying. I had been so strong because I didn't want my family to worry about me. Um, and I just cried because I saw my finger, or that my finger was like, the bandage was little instead of big. And I think I have pictures of it. So if I do, I'm going to insert them now. So that was hard for me, um, when I first woke up. And believe it or not, they send you home. You got to have a ride home because you can't drive after being under anesthesia. They gave me a lot of narcotics. I kept telling them, I don't need these narcotics. I'm not going to take them. Just give me a little something like codeine or something. But I mean, they piled me up with tons of stuff. And they said, if you need it, take it. If you don't, don't. So I kind of stayed medicated for a little while. After the anesthesia wore off, which was about a day, I went ahead and stayed medicated because I didn't want to deal with the fact that I didn't have a finger. I remember my cousin and his wife had invited us over for Christmas dinner, and at first I said no, but then I was like, okay. So we went to their house for Christmas dinner, and it was fine. I kind of remember being a little social, but I still remember we didn't stay long, maybe a couple of hours, and then I just went home and went to bed. Um, I'm so thankful for family and friends, and the next one will be about the support of family and friends. I know, again, that it's only a finger, but it was my finger, and I don't think it's so much the amputation as it is the fear of dying and the fear of a terrible death. I think all of that goes into that fear that I had and that I sometimes still have. Anyway, the next video will be on the recovery, what they found in the lymph nodes, and returning to work. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Remember, this will all be in a playlist, and we will catch you on part 4, which is the recovery. Take care.